I'm making a video about questions about which angel books should I start with, and I show what I work with myself first, since I work the classical old grimoires. And here we have the planetary archangels: Michael, Gabriel, Kamael, Raphael, Sakiel, Aniel and Cassiel. And here we have some sigils of the Sephirotic God from the Tree of Life with the spheres of Tree of Life. You can see that the sigils change a bit here. But you usually start off with the archangels of air, fire, earth, water, and progress to the planetary before you go into... Or you can start with the Tree of Life, but that is not just a magical practice, so I'm not going into that so much now. But this is the beginning point with those old sigils. And then I show some sigils in my own book that I used. When I do, let's say, Goetic Theurgia, Goetia or something like that, here are what the sigils look like in these old books. And as you can see, you can recognize that they are always written in the sigils. So if you look at Raphael here, and Raphael here, and Raphael there, they are always included in the old books. And then we have my beloved Shem angels, and these are the ones used in Sigils, Goetia, and in all most magical traditions. These are Blaise the Vigenère sigils. And you draw them always by yourself and in red. That's a tradition. So, let's see what books of the modern books. It's up to you to compare. This one, the Archangels of Magick, is Damon, but he don't use the sigils. He writes down the angel name in Hebrew letters. So that's how he does it. But this book does contain different rituals, and it has 10 or 11 archangels in it, and it has the simple, he calls it circle of power. It's more like the traditional Kabbalistic cross with the Uriel in front of me, Raphael behind me, Michael at my right, and Gabriel at my left. So he's been practicing Kabbalah. And when you compare it to this, that's why I have to show 3 books of Damon Brand. Since this book contains these 3 books in Damon Brand's books. So the Angels of Alchemy are here written once again in Hebrew, which is a sacred language, and the Hebrew letters and Malachim and Celestial and Enochian are sacred scripts, so that's what everybody uses. And then let's see. Here we look at his for Gabriel. You can see he's mashed in it with his art, and here's some Celestial and Malachim. And then he's copied straight off Blaise the Vigenère sigils, and here is the difference between him and Damon Brand. He uses the Phoenician alphabet, and I don't use it. I use the Hebrew in that case. So that was that book. And it has some very strange things in here as well. The sigils of the angels of the thrones and the sigils of the angels of the virtue. And they are not really common, but it is art. And let's look at Damon Brand's let's see here. Here. You can see he has the Blessed Virgin here, and as well as the celestial and the Hebrew letters within. And he has copyright on all these and all surroundings on these, but the prayers are often written in circular way in most magical grimoires anyhow. So he made the design, and then the old sigils are within. So it's up to you to choose how you do it. And if you like the Golden Dawn thing and so on, this is the Constantinos book, Summoning Spirits. It has a simple way of doing Golden Dawn. And Damien Eccles, everything Constantinos written a book about, Damien Eccles have talked about or written a book about. So, but here is the first. Here, how do you create the tools and cast the circle, the ritual of middle pillar, and everything, and the Rosicrucian crosses. And so this is a very good book, since you have to have some background unless you just go into praying. And this one has a short, simple ritual where you call in and make a request, but it isn't just a magical book in that way. Magic, you have to work a little bit harder than to just say. But you can call on the angels. There are calls and you make a request. But then, other than that, to really get the magic going, you got to learn, and then you practice with the old Goetia, Enochian, and you go forward with that. But just to start and start to getting results, you need to know how to cast a circle. So, of the beginner-friendly books, this has the Kabbalistic cross style that creates the magic, and here is the Golden Dawn type of how you draw the sigils, make the tools, and so on. So this one has magic in it, and he always says that you don't need anything when you do the ritual. That's the emotional alchemy and calling on the angels, and that works very well, but you have to learn the basics first, since you have to have the power within you to be command to, since things can come through even if you buy a safe book. So it's better to just learn the basis of circle